The rule before us today makes an order H.R. 6617, a resolution to fund the federal government through March 11th, and H.R. 3076, the Postal Service Reform Act of 2022. I know that Appropriations Chairwoman DeLauro and Ranking Member Granger, I know they continue to engage in bipartisan discussions to find a path forward on fiscal year 2022 funding package, and I want to thank them sincerely for those efforts. I also want to commend Chairwoman Maloney and Ranking Member Comer for working together to put forth a truly bipartisan package to stabilize the financial health of the U.S. Postal Service and to improve efficiency and transparency for senior citizens and other Americans who rely every day on the Postal Service. Mr. Speaker, for the past 3 years, Democratic leadership has written major legislation behind closed doors with little to zero input from House Republicans, and frankly, almost zero to little input from even the committees that, of course, the Democrats control. This has truly been a behind closed door process that I've seen for the last 3 years. So it's finally refreshing to see the House consider a bill that was the subject of a robust bipartisan negotiation and that actually went through the normal committee process for once. So I just want to say I hope my colleagues across the aisle will make this the new normal as it has previously been the normal. I also hope that the majority will continue the bipartisanship that I've seen here today, continue to work with House Republicans to address the serious and pressing issues facing American families across this nation. For example, thanks to President Biden's open border policy, deadly fentanyl continues to just pour across our southern border, which is ravaging our communities, literally killing people in the heartland of this country. For example, in 2021, drug overdose deaths in the U.S. topped 100,000 for the first time in a single year. 100,000. In fact, fentanyl overdoses are reported to be the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. So it is past time that Congress acts to stem the tide of deadly fentanyl coming into our nation largely through our porous southern border, fentanyl that comes, let's just say it, largely from China. It's time we address that issue. At the same time, America is in the midst of a crime crisis like we haven't seen before, largely thanks to the Democrats' demonization of our police and their push, what I view as one of the worst public policy positions I've ever seen, their push to actually defund police. In 2021, at least 16 cities set new records in homicides. It's no wonder that 64% of Americans disapprove of how President Biden has handled crime. Congress should be working to address this crime surge and working to back the blue as well. Finally, Americans continue to pay higher prices to do everything from feed their families, heat their homes, even fill up their gas tanks. Instead of doubling down on the failed far-left radical policies and out-of-control spending that's actually caused this economic crisis, we should be reclaiming our energy independence. We should be eliminating burdensome regulation that hamstrings our job creators, and we should be working to ensure American families keep more of their hard-earned paychecks. So again, I want to applaud the bipartisan work that went into these bills. I want to applaud the Committee on Oversight and Reform, and of course, the Committee on Appropriation. But there are many other pressing issues that we can also be working on and should be working on for the benefit of American families. I therefore urge my colleagues to oppose this rule, and I reserve the balance of my time.